So, hi there, my name's Eli. I'm one of the co-organizers of NetSquared Vancouver. And if you're anything like me, you probably spend an enormous amount of your day typing. Hands up, people who type from time to time. Yeah, I thought that might be the case. And I bet that a lot of what you type is extremely similar to the thing you typed half an hour ago. So I want to show you two things that I do that basically help reduce some of the typing I do, and just sort of our little productivity tips. So the thing I love most in the world, and the thing that makes me feel most magical, is an app called TextExpander. And what it does is something that's probably quite similar to people who have used Microsoft's auto correction tools within Word. But this gets to work in all apps across everything. So a good example of that is you're like, basically, what do you type all the time? So I'll show you a couple examples. So for me, here's things I type all the time. I have to type my phone number all the time, anytime I'm filling out a phone number. So I just go like phone, P-P-H-O-N-E, and it auto-expands. Or I have a ridiculous last name, which is Giessen. I don't want to have to type that for my email address all the time. So I just go Eli at V, and it spits out the rest. Or actually Eli at T for my other work addresses, and it does like boom. And all of that's to save me a couple characters a couple times a day, or save me all kinds of grief. Or say I'm putting together an invoice. Well, then maybe I'm just going to have it type out my home address. So you can do multi-line things. Or maybe you got a URL which is ridiculous, which you always want to type out. So I'll just type Europe, and it spits out this whole scheduling link here. But it also works for big, long emails that you might need to send out to a volunteer. So say you're going to say like, I'm going to write, say, the email that I would send out to new organizers who I want to become volunteers. And you can get it to spit out a whole pile of characters. And you can even get it to then automatically drop the cursor in a particular character. So you can do like, dear person's name. Anyways, you can get very sophisticated, but this is just a basic version of just like, save yourself some typing things. But some things you don't type all the time, and it's not worth getting into the system. The other thing you can do is use something that I love using, which is, and there's many variants on it, but the one I use is called basically Pastebot. And what it does is it basically creates a clipboard that is, instead of a one-item clipboard, it's a 100-item clipboard. So now basically you say like, oh, let me copy and paste. Say someone sends you an email, and there's like their first name, their last name, their email, their phone number. And instead of going back and forth, you just say like, oh, I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to copy that, and then maybe I'm going to copy that. And then you go and click, instead of normal Command V, I just go Command Option V in this case. And then it shows like, oh, I want to show, here's the other things I've copied, images or other things like that. And you say like, okay, that's great, but what if actually I just say, oh, I just want it to be the third one. Hit 4, boom, and it just spits it out. And now it like copies that thing in here. Or, oh, actually I want that thing I did a while ago. Oh, there's that email address. Boom. Or you're like, what was that again? You can also even type to autocomplete. So you're like, I want the one that said Europe in it. Ah, there it is. Boom. And so that's one way you can just start like moving a lot faster by taking the things you've typed already, and instead of retyping it or going to another document, you can just sort of have it all there at your fingerprints. And the last thing, do I have time, Chad?
Yeah, you got a minute.
Cool. Is the other thing you can do is, of course, sometimes you're on your phone and you're like, yes, but I don't want to type out that big, long, ugly thing because I don't really remember it and it's hard to cut and paste. So the other thing you can do with this case is it actually can bring out basically on your iPhone and on Android, you'll get basically this idea. You can install other keyboards. And so in this case, what you can do basically is install a keyboard that is this text edit thing. So I would just go in and say like, oh, I want to type in that stupid ugly thing, but I don't remember exactly what that URL was. So in any application, you just go into like the keyboard chooser thing, hold down and say like, oh, I don't want to do the emoji one. I want to do the TextExpander one. And then from there, then you just go in and type that shortcut just like you would on your computer where it would be, and it's all synced out. And boom, it spits it out. And so that way when someone sends you a WhatsApp thing, you're like, I want that scheduling link, but damn it, I don't remember what it is. This is your way just to instantly pull that out even when you're on the go. So that's my little tricks that I use in my day-to-day life. This is the other trick, which is, of course, you can hook your little phone up to a VGA or HDMI adapter, which means next time you're on the road doing a presentation and you don't really want to bring your laptop, you can actually just hook it into your phone and just go into, like, you know, your PDF viewer, open it up and just go like next slide, next slide, next slide, and do it all from your phone and look like a super wizard. Yeah, so the TextExpander is the Macintosh version. I think there's also a PC version, but if you just look for, like, if you're on the PC, like TextExpander PC version, it's software that I'm so happy to pay them money for. I'm like, oh yeah. They're like, they moved recently from like one sub page to like now a $3 a month subscription, and I didn't think for a second, I'm like, yes, you should take more of my money because this is worth it. It really makes my life so much easier and my carpal tunnel much more manageable. So that's what I had to do for my little demo today. This is just the standard dongle-y thing. You would just go like, whatever your phone is to VGA or HDMI adapter. Amazon will spit something out. It'll probably cost $20. It'll probably work really well.
You use that software just to use that thing? Yeah.
Oh, so this thing doesn't need any special software. The phone.
Use that?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I do actually have, if anyone uses an Android-based device like me, I probably don't want, but I'll also have an HDMI one for you too if you got an Android-based device you need to. Thank you, Eli, for saving us all thousands of keystrokes.